Lion beings. Boy, where to start? Okay, so as a child, growing up, I had an interest in many animals in different stages. I went through a very strong reptile stage. I was able to handle reptiles, catch them, find them, handle them easily and naturally. It took me a long time to realize that's not common. And then there was the lion stage. Okay, so large cats of all kinds are super important to me, always have been, and especially lions. I managed to manifest, okay, this is how important it is to me. I managed to manifest the experience of working hands-on with lions and tigers and other large cats. Okay, ligers, leopards, mountain lions, etc. And I mean hands-on, I mean playing with them, wrestling with them. You see what I'm saying? Taking care of them. And where I did this as a teenager, other people would come through and volunteer to do the kind of thing I was doing there as a volunteer. And what I noticed was that other people they didn't have the ability to communicate and read these animals like me. I never got hurt, and I had more hands-on time with them than any of these other volunteers who would come through. These animals could read me and I can read them easily. There was a very clear understanding, so I wasn't even afraid. I didn't need to be. And it was a wonderful, priceless experience, to say the least. Now this is, I guess I'm telling this story in categories here. So there's that category. There's my love for the animals themselves. I literally watched the way lions specifically live in the wild, and it brings tears to my eyes. It's so beautiful to me. So in stages throughout life leading up to now, there's been an awareness, okay, growing within me. I have Courageous Lion tattooed on my arms in a different language. What else? Now I've always dreamed about lions, etc. Other large cats. What's the next thing I should share? Okay, for those of you in the metaphysical community who also study astrology, maybe have a bit of a knack for it, think about this. What would you think about someone who, in their chart, whether you calculate it by Western or Eastern astrology, Western, tropical, or Vedic astrology, you find that the ruler of their ascendant and their sun and their moon, the planets that rule all of that, are conjunct with their north node in the sign of Leo. Okay? And those planets are all retrograde. What does that say to you? Okay? Alright, what else? Moving on. Okay, let's talk about actual lion beings, humanoids. Now, looking back, I can see that they've been interacting with me my whole life, and I've recently come to understand that I've been channeling information, ideas, teachings, etc., concepts from them through myself, to myself, and to others for a long time now. But only recently has this become a conscious kind of a thing. I had an astral experience not long ago where I became lucid in a dream, and then I started exploring some things, and the dream showed me some things about what you could call my shadow behind me. And then the scenery changed. I stepped into a sort of like a throne room type scenario, you could say. And there was a council of lion beings, whatever we want to call them. Specifically the lion type, lion colored, sort of the beige lion color, with some markings on them. And the mane and everything, which was just awesome to me. And they looked so great, and I felt right at home with them, even though this was a council that was going to tell me something about myself. It's like I appeared before this council. There was no feeling of intimidation or anything. I felt like right at home and very comfortable. More so than the other types of beings that I've met. In varying degrees of comfort with each of these beings. The lion or the feline type, I'm very comfortable with, just like I am with the animals in real life. I can work with them, you know. I can be one of those lion whisperer type people. I can totally do that. In fact, I grew up dreaming of doing that, but now that I'm in touch with the higher level of what all this means, I have a little different vision where well, maybe a lot different vision of where this is going. But so anyway, in the astral, this council, the one in the middle, the largest one, explained to me some things about some past lives, and I don't need to get detailed, but basically showed me a scenario where I lost my temper and, you know, killed someone in a rage, and then in another life protected that same person who was sort of what's the right word? Damaged in this other life, and people picked on him a lot because of it, and I fought tooth and claw against all of them to protect this same person that, you know, I had harmed with my temper in another life. So the feeling of the message was that well, the same reason all those planets are retrograde. It was basically, they were just helping me basically heal and realize that, you know, I am a very honorable creature, and I should not always, I should stop suppressing myself, basically. And I've gotten this message through various guides in different ways in recent years. Probably was getting it my whole life, but I've only been paying enough attention in recent years. But anyway, I love these guys. I love these people, these beings. What comes through from them is the stuff that, to me, I feel like is the kind of stuff I want to share with this world, you know. The stuff the reptilians do with me, that's a big element too, and that has to do with kind of a personal project that these videos are not about, that I don't really talk about. But that's also very important to me in a certain category. But the overall energy that I'd like to share most, that I find myself sharing with those I love, and that means now the world, you know, as a whole, I want to share a lot of that energy with, if possible. A great deal of it comes from these feline type beings. So it's been very healing and enlightening for me to get in touch with it more and more. Clearly it's something I meant to do. I've been, you know, my soul chose to do, but long before now. I'm just catching up to the realization of the experience. But yeah, lately I've been tuning into them more on purpose, and they're working with me for sure, you know, just for the asking. And it's a very, for me, it's a very comforting feeling of what I've been missing in this world since I got here. The way this world's been so painful to me, and so ugly to me, and so messed up to me. The energy I get from them is a reminder of what I've been missing and feeling is very wrong here. And because it's so healing and healthy, this energy, and it's even part of helping me open my heart chakra, which is really what this earth experience seems to be about. Um, I'm choosing to embody it more so that I can share it more with others. Because like with anything on my channel, that's the idea behind the whole thing, is whatever I benefit from, I would like anyone else who is willing to benefit from it as well. So it's in that spirit, that really, even from the really mundane stuff like, a different weightlifting exercise maybe you didn't think of but you can benefit from if you're into that type of thing, clear to like, world-changing, hopefully channeled messages, for your spiritual benefit, whatever level or dimension or frequency of it is. It's really, that's what's important to me, is that what I benefit from, anyone else who can and will, that they do as well, out of love. And I'm finding that, it's all tied together. I used to have a real, I've been blocked my whole life with a lack of self-love, as so many people have. And I'm finding that as I'm giving anything good to anyone else, I'm giving it to myself as well. It's all tied together. So it's a wonderful thing. So I'm going to continue to to rest in my pride of lions, so to speak, and collect the positive healing energy there and share it with others, whoever I can, whether it's through a camcorder or my family, those that I physically am close to interacting with. But it's very interesting to be becoming more and more aware of this, and realizing how I've been able to channel this energy along the way in recent years, seeing it more clearly now, and now being able to choose consciously to do so. It's an amazing awareness, and I'm not saying that's exactly what I'm doing right now. In fact, right now I'm just trying to kind of paint a timeline of a theme here, throughout this incarnation, and where it's gotten to me now, or where it's gotten me to now, or the illusion of time and space unfolding on this journey for me. But anyway, I'll continue to make videos of any type of beings that I interact with enough to even like identify them as something, or some of them I can't even say I have identified yet, but these guys are perfectly clear to me. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. It's like super easy for me to talk about, So anyway, anyone else wants to share something along those lines, please do. I think it's a wonderful thing. These beings are a truly good influence for humans upon this earth. I don't see any any likeliness that anybody who really is in touch with them at all is going to try to demonize them, the way they have reptilians, for example. And that's for different videos and a different topic, but if anyone else loves that feline energy the way I do, and you've had interactions with these beings, and another thing I should mention is throughout my life I've seen this energy in certain other people, to the point where I would even get like a visual change would occur when I'm looking at them, like their face would change, and I'd see the feline part of them clearly, like jumping out at me. Maybe I even recognize some of these individuals from a different incarnation on a different world, that might be what it is, but I'm not someone who's seen a lot of shape-shifting transformation type things like that with people, but I've seen this one a lot. I've seen feline shape-shift sort of thing that I can identify in people, and it's never been frightening. It's always been awesome. Like I've always loved being around those people. So whatever that means, I'm not fully I'm sharing just authentically from my experience. I haven't even read anything about that. But maybe somebody else has noticed that. Like if you've seen feline traits just pop out of certain people, almost like their face morphs for a second. Even their whole body, like the energy just kind of morphs, so you can kind of like see them for who they are more. Like I say, I don't know if it's a past life connection. I don't know if it's a DNA thing, a person with a certain amount of DNA, and I can just sort of like morph them in my vision and see it. I don't know what it is. I know that in the astral, a lot of times I'll just choose to turn into like a big, powerful lion type creature. Not creature, but you know, just me, you know, a lion, a big powerful lion type version of myself. And I often do that when I'm either just wanting to have fun or deal with negative entities. I find that sometimes that's instinctively what I turn into. If I see negative entities bullying someone or something like that, I turn into a lion type version of myself, big and fierce and brave, and really, I think it brings that out of me when I see someone else being bullied. Something about that energy is just I'm always drawn to defending anyone that looks like they don't know how to defend themselves, you know. So, for whatever that's worth, like I'm saying, you know, like I say, this is just authentic stuff I'm sharing from my experience. I haven't read about whether other people experience stuff like that or not. So, and as time goes on, I will, and then it won't be as, you know, like this time will pass. I'm going to go do more research. I'm going to go look at other people's channeled messages and stuff, and you know, I'm just putting this on video like right at the beginning to kind of open the topic for me, just where I'm coming from. And then, you know, as I mingle more into the world of what's known out there by a lot of you guys and stuff, you know, everything probably change more. And I think if anything, it'll just accelerate my awareness and experience of all this. But I wanted to make a few key videos like this first on certain topics before I even really dabble in what's known and what the rest of your experiences are. So this is me doing that. This is me opening this topic. All right? So that's it. I'm opening it. Please share. Please, yeah, share. Let's share. Let's expand upon this however, you know. Whatever you think's useful, let me know. Whatever you'd like to say or share on this topic or anything related, you know. And I will continue to update as cool things unfold that I really feel like I need to share. All right? All right, thanks. I love you all.